It was a perfect day for a funeral. The sun shone brightly overhead in the cloudless sky, and the wind had a slight chill to it. As it blew among the small crowd gathered closely to pay their last respects to Randall Vincent Wolfe. I tugged my coat closer against my body and brushed at the tears that fell slowly down my cheeks as I watched my stepfather's casket being slowly lowered to the ground. My mother, Julian, had married Randall when I was just 14 years old. It was a marriage of convenience, she'd told me, still too young to understand what those words actually meant. I'd learned spoon enough. My father had been an investment banker, and we'd been living a very comfortable life. My mom didn't need to work, so she'd stay at home to raise me. My father died suddenly in a car accident 2 years before my mother remarried. It was then we'd find out that he had been siphoning money from his investors into offshore accounts, and we'd found ourselves into serious debt. Less than a year later, my mom met Randall. I never knew the details of the first meeting, even their arrangement, but soon I had a new father, and we were moving into a large estate just outside the city. It was like a fairy tale. I'd had not only my own room, but an entire wing of the house. When I'd done some exploring, I'd happened across a boys' room with sports and movie posters. I'd been confused because no one mentioned that Randall had children, and I'd been living at the estate months now. "This is Killian's room," Randall had said from the doorway. He looked good for a guy who was in his 40s. He was over 6 feet tall with salt and pepper hair and kind gray eyes. His body was lean as he swapped in the Olympic-sized pool every morning and evening, I knew. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." I'd started to apologize, not wanting to make my new stepfather angry. But Randall had just put up a hand halting me and walked towards the bed and sat down. He patted the way next to him until I sat beside him on the huge king-sized bed. Standing, he towered over me, but seated next to him I felt like an equal, even though I had to look up at him. "Killian is my son," he began as his eyes wandered nostalgically over the soccer trophies that blinked the bookcase. "He went off to college before I met your mother." I looked up at him, surprised. I had a stepbrother. I'd been so used to being an only child, the thought of a sibling was exiting. I caught sight of a graduation photo of Killian and Randall together, smiling and seemingly happy. He looked like he belonged in a boy band. He had a pretty face and the same dark hair and gray eyes as his father. The butterflies in my stomach caught me by surprise.